One of the greatest and most dangerous journeys in the Silmarillion is the journey of Tor and his coming to Gondolin. Because right after speaking to Ulmo, he finds Veranwe, an elf from Gondolin who will be his guide. He's been placed there by Ulmo. And it's only been an hour since that's been the case because, he was with a ship and a crew, and the crew are gone. And the sea Ulmo saved Veranwe and put him near Vinyamar so Tor can find him. And Veronway is taken aback to see Tor in his getup because he's wearing this hauberk and the armor and the helm and the shield and what have you. And like pretty much just says like, what the hell is going on? Like, who are you? And only for Tor to be like, I know who you are. And like Ulmo speaking through him, he's like, I'm on the quest of Ulmo. We are to go find the son of Fingolfin. You're to show me the way to Gondolin. And Veronway doesn't question this, and thus they start their journey. And the journey is like 37 days long, and they see a lot of stuff during that time. They go from west to northeast, all the way to the encircling mountains, following what seems to be an ancient road that isn't mentioned in the Silmarillion. It's only in the Unfinished Tales. A road that leads from Vinyamar all the way to the dry river that is the entrance of Gondolin. And on their way, they see a few things. They see the large marks, claws of Glaurung, knowing that the worm of Morgoth has come forth, and Veranwe knows it. They see Turin Turambar going to the pools of Ivrin to be healed again, only for to see that they've been corrupted, frozen over, and no longer can do that. But they hear him call out Fel Ivrin, referring to Findurius, and of course Beleg and Gwindor, and, just see him move on. But they don't approach him. And this is the only time the two cousins, the sons of Hur and Hurin, ever come across one another. What ends up happening after that, though, is that we see that they see a lot of the prisoners of Nargothrond and orcs roving around, and Tor wants to do something. He's a brave man, and he won't sit here. And he actually refers to him as a term called Glamroth, which sounds familiar because Glamdring, the sword, Glam referring to orcs. It's another word for that. And Veranwe's like, yo, I won't show you the way if we do not do it in secrecy. If you go and you attack those orcs, we're done. And then they continue their journey because Tor, heeds his warnings. And Tor's a complainer. He's hungry. He's complaining about food. He's complaining about how weary he is. How long is it going to take? And it's some time before they actually reach the dry river. And before that, they see the fords of Brithiac. They use the cloak of Ulmo to get past orcs, but the orcs smell them and hear them, and thus they're aware that someone is trying to sneak by. They see the eaves of Brethil, the forest there, as well as the northern marches of Doriath. Veronway talks about Dimbar and how what type of area that used to be and how it used to be protected, and it may not be anymore. But when they reach the dry river, it is Veronway who knows the area is safe because he looks up and he sees the eagles of the Kersaigram, the eagles of Thorondor, the eagles of Manwë. And they go down a small little entrance. And finally, like, Tor's like, where's the gate? Where's anyone? Only for Veronway to be like, you wouldn't have even known that there was an entrance here. It looks like a natural opening within the caves of the mountains of the encircling mountains, the Akoriath. And like kind of tells him like, chill out, dude. We will make it. But their voices, they give off, the whispers bounce off and they echo. And thus they hear someone call out to them, stand or face like, being slain. And it is Alamakil, the captain and one of the guards of the gates of Gondolin. And he recognizes Veronway. Better yet, Veronway recognizes his voice. And they're friends of old. And he's like, why would you put me in this place? If it was anyone else, like another elf of the Noldor, I would allow you to pass easily, but I have to take you now as a prisoner in front of the king, as well as possibly slay your friend who was a mortal man. I could see it in his eyes. And at this point, Tor speaks up. He's like, hey, I was sent on this quest. I'm from Ulmo. And, I am to speak to the son of Fingolfin about, like, what's to go down. This is my quest. Bring me forth. And they're taken aback because he's wearing, like I said, this ancient gear from Vinyamar. And they're like, this is too great of a doom for us. We will show you to the king. And thus they lead them through the gates of Gondolin, the seven gates, to Gondolin of the seven names. And I'm going to hold off here where we could talk about this in another video because I truly think the gates of Gondolin deserve their own video. That's so cool. But this is how Tor ends up coming to Gondolin. It takes him 37 days and another day, the 38th, to finally get to the realm proper. So we'll check that out in another video.